Hey everyone, it's me, Mario5514, and welcome back to another Splatoon Talk video. In this video, we're going to be looking at some more what-if weapon kits for Splatoon 3. You guys like the last 4 videos, so I made part 5 for you guys. Just a reminder, these are only what-ifs of what we could have gotten instead of what we currently have in Splatoon 3. And without further ado, let's get started. First up is the Custom Splattershot Jr. Its current weapon kit has Torpedo and Wave Breaker. I think, looking back at Splatoon 1, it had Disruptor, now called Toxic Mist, and Echolocator. So I think Toxic Mist and Wave Breaker could definitely be a bringback from Splatoon 1, like a flashback. I mean, Torpedo's not bad, but I think people would get tired of the Torpedo always getting shot out of the air before it hits its target, unless you're aiming it straight at a wall. Then I mean, yeah. But I mean, the Torpedo could also be thrown like a regular Splat Bomb if you throw it at the ground, then just in the air, hoping that it targets someone that's hiding, or targeting someone that's not paying attention. But I think Toxic Mist would be interesting to see the Custom Splattershot Jr. get instead of Torpedo. And with Wave Breaker, it would definitely help, as you could take out people in the Toxic Mist, as will slow them down, allowing you to get up close and just splat them right there. And not only that, Wave Breaker could mark where your opponents are before they destroy the Wave Breaker. But I mean, would Nintendo add this weapon kit? I don't think they would. But I mean, it would be interesting to see the Custom Splattershot Jr. get Toxic Mist instead of Torpedo. Next up is the Foil Squeezer. Its current weapon kit has Auto Bomb and Splatter Color Screen, but I think Suction Bomb and Tentamissiles would be very nice for this weapon to get, as the regular Squeezer has Splash Wall and Trizooka. I think Foil Squeezer would get a much powerful sub-weapon. I mean, Auto Bombs are not bad, but Suction Bomb would definitely be very interesting to see the Foil Squeezer get, and Tentamissiles would work a lot better than Splatter Color Screen. And not only that, it would add another weapon in the Tentamissile lineup instead of just using Flingza Roller, Splatana Wiper Deco, and the Goo Tuber. So it would be interesting to see the Foil Squeezer get this, even though it's basically what we see in Splatoon 2 with the Tony Kensa Splattershot. But I mean, it would still be interesting to see it in action. I think Nintendo would never add this. As the Squeezer is just, even though the Squeezer is very low rated in shooting, it's regarded as one of the worst weapons in the game. But I mean, with the regular Squeezer, I managed to scavenge a few wins with it. But I mean, it's not a very reliable weapon I would use all the time. But Foil Squeezer would definitely work with Tentamissiles. I don't know about Suction Bombs though. But I mean, it's very interesting to see it in action. Next up is the Splatana Wiper. Its current weapon kit has Torpedo and Ultra Stamp, but I think Burst Bomb and Kraken Royale would work for this weapon kit, as the Burst Bomb would easily help the Splatana Wiper combo, and the Kraken could easily help you go after your opponents, as you're basically impervious to all damage with the Kraken. And not only that, Burst Bomb is better than Torpedo, and Kraken easily dominates Ultra Stamp. Even if someone tries to smash you with the Ultra Stamp, you're basically immune to it with the Kraken. So Kraken would easily help the Splatana Wiper be aggressive and charge the front lines than what it currently has, as well as making opponents go in other directions, like make them scatter, so they'll either go back to their base, they'll retreat, or they'll go right into your teammates' line of fire, or make it easier for your teammates to go after them. So I think Splatana Wiper getting Burst Bomb and Kraken Royale would be interesting to see in action, but I doubt Nintendo would add this weapon kit in the game. Next up is the Octobrush Novo. This is a flashback to Splatoon 1 with Splat Bomb and Trizooka, as the original Octobrush Novo had Splat Bomb and Inkzooka. I think getting Splat Bomb for the Octobrush would be very interesting to see, as the regular Octobrush has Suction Bomb and Zipcaster as its weapon kit. But Octobrush Novo with Splat Bomb and Trizooka could definitely help the Octobrush dominate, as it's one of the slower brushes in the series. And what we see in the brush class, the Octobrush is it's a little slower than the ink brush, but it has more range and flicking, but it also does a little more damage in the process. So I think Splat Bomb would definitely help it engage, and then the Trizooka could easily take out people from a distance, so you don't have to go up into someone's face if they have a Jet Squelcher or a Splatter Shot Pro, because you're easily able to take them out with the Trizooka. So I think this would definitely be interesting to see the Octobrush Novo get this weapon kit instead of Squid Beacon and Inkstorm, what it currently has. Next up is the Rapid Blaster Pro. Its current weapon kit has Toxic Mist and Ink Vac, but I think giving it Auto Bomb and Trizooka would be interesting to see. Looking back at Splatoon 1, it had Seeker and Inkzooka, similar of what it had for the Aerospray MG in Splatoon 1, as it had Seeker and Inkzooka. I think Auto Bomb and Trizooka would work for the Rapid Blaster Pro, as you're able to sniff out where your opponents are with the Auto Bomb, and then attack them from a longer range with the Trizooka than what the Rapid Blaster Pro has. But I mean, in terms of damage, the regular blasters or range blasters tend to dominate the Rapid Blaster Pro, but it has a slightly faster firing rate than a blaster, and even the range blaster. So yeah, Auto Bomb and Trizooka would be interesting to see the Rapid Blaster Pro use out on the battlefield, especially in Anarchy battles. Next up is the Tri-Slosher Novo. Its current weapon kit has Fizzy Bomb and Tacticooler. I think Auto Bomb and Wavebreaker would be interesting to see this weapon have, as looking back at Splatoon 1, it had Seeker and Echo Locator. So I think Auto Bomb and Wavebreaker is a flashback to Splatoon 1 with it, as well as it would make the Tri-Slosher Novo more of a seeking. It has a more seeking weapon kit than what it currently has. I think the only weapons that would work with Tacticooler would be the NZAP 85, the Heavy Edit Splatling, and the Dynamo Roller, as well as the H3 Nozzle Nose of what it currently has. But I think Tri-Slosher Novo getting Auto Bomb and Wavebreaker would be unusual for this weapon to get, even though the Tri-Slosher Novo currently has an aggressive special under its belt. I doubt Nintendo would ever add this weapon kit, but I mean, it would be interesting to see the Tri-Slosher Novo get this weapon kit from Splatoon 1 into Splatoon 3 7 years later. Next up is the N-Parry Splat Dualies. Its current weapon kit has Curling Bomb and Triple Splashdown, but I think it would be interesting to give it its original weapon kit from Splatoon 2. As it had Curling Bomb and Inkjet in Splatoon 2, it still kept the same sub-weapon, but it was replaced with the Inkjet was replaced with Triple Splashdown. So I think giving Curling Bomb and Inkjet to the N-Parry Splat Dualies once again would definitely help this weapon be aggressive, as well as go on offense with the Inkjet, as it would also give another weapon more Inkjet. It would also have more Inkjet options than just with the Anaki Splattershot Nova and the Rapid Blaster Deco having Inkjet. And I mean, it's a flashback to 2017, so I think it would be interesting to see see the N-Parry Splat Dualies get Inkjet once again. I just don't know if Nintendo would even add Inkjet into the N-Parry Splat Dualies, but I mean, it would be interesting to see it get it once again, as it once had in 2017. Next up is the Dapple Dualies Novo. Its current weapon kit currently has Torpedo and Reef Slider, but I think Splat Bomb and Ultra Stamp would be interesting to see this weapon have, as you have a more aggressive sub-weapon, and you also have a special that you're able to charge through with, and no one will be able to hurt you, even though they will have to time their shooting to go at you from the front, as you're basically immune to damage from the front, but you are exposed in the rear using the Ultra Stamp. But I mean, you're able to dig deep into the enemy's territory while your opponents move forward on where you moved through, splatting your opponents as they go. As well as after the Ultra Stamp wears off, you're easily able to go back into your shooting and dodge rolling after, so you're not left out in the open like you do with the Reef Slider. I mean, it would be interesting to see the Dapple Dualies Novo use this weapon kit, but I don't think Nintendo would add Splat Bomb and Ultra Stamp in there. But I mean, it would be interesting to see. I mean, it may look interesting on paper, but it may not look very good in gameplay. Next up is the NZAP 85. This is another flashback to Splatoon 1, as it had Splat Bomb and Echolocator, and I think Splat Bomb and Wavebreaker would definitely be the flashback to Splatoon 1 in Splatoon 3, even though I doubt Splat Bomb and Wavebreaker would make the NZAP more aggressive, as it once was in Splatoon 1 back in 2015, as people would prefer the Suction Bomb Tacticooler kit that it currently has in Splatoon 3. But I mean, it is interesting to see the NZAP 85 use Wavebreaker than Tacticooler and use Splat Bombs than Suction Bombs. Even though Suction Bombs are more powerful, they do take a little longer to blow up, and they have a wider blast radius than Splat Bombs. But I mean, it will be interesting to see the NZAP use Splat Bomb and Wavebreaker, kind of like what we see with the regular dually Squelchers. Next up is the .96 Gal. This was a weapon kit that I thought up of myself, as it would have Auto Bomb and Triple Ink Strike. I think Auto Bomb would work for the .96 Gal, as you're easily able to sniff out where your opponents are hiding in case they have a faster shooter like the Splatter Shot or the Arrow Spray, as the .96 Gal has a very slow firing rate but does heavy damage with its shots. And Triple Ink Strike would definitely be better than Ink Vec, as you're easily able to throw them at a distance and take out any chargers, splatlings, or tri-stringers who are on their perch. So you're easily able to use them so they would retrieve from where they're perched, and you could so you can go after them easier, or just make it that they will have to watch themselves, as you have the .96 Gal on them. But I mean, I doubt Nintendo would add this weapon kit, but I mean, it would be very interesting to see it in play, even though it would be very unusual to see the .96 Gal get Triple Ink Strike, as I mean, it is a very powerful shooter. It just has a very slow firing rate, but the Auto Bombs I think would work very well for this weapon. Next up is the Reflux 450 Deco. Its current weapon kit has Splash Wall and Reef Slider. I think Fizzy Bomb and Big Bubbler would work for this weapon, as you're using a Fizzy Bomb that could, you're using a sub weapon that you could just shake up and throw at any given time, at any charge point that you have it on, and just watch it spread its ink in that line, even though with some of the nerfs it got as of 9.2. But I mean, Big Bubbler would help it defend itself as compared to the regular Tri-Stringer in Wellstring 5. The Reflux doesn't do as much damage, as well as it doesn't have much range compared to the Tri-Stringer and Wellstring. But I mean, Fizzy Bomb and Big Bubbler would be interesting to see this weapon have instead of Splash Wall and Reef Slider. Not only that, Big Bubbler is slightly better in defense than the Reef Slider is, because after you use the Reef Slider, you are easily out in the open for an attack from the enemy, especially if you have a Reflux weapon, as it puts you out in the open very easily, and you are an easy target for the enemy unless you have good aim, faster than a splatter shot could splat you with. But I mean, it's very unusual to see the Reflux 450 use Big Bubbler, as it would be more of a, even though Tri-Stringers are more support weapons, kind of like what we see with the Chargers, they're more support. So I think the Big Bubbler would work. I don't know about Fizzy Bomb though. Next up is the Splattershot Nova. I mentioned a Splattershot Nova weapon kit in one of my previous videos, so I decided to show another one for you guys, as Auto Bomb and Crab Tank would be interesting to see the Splattershot Nova get, as it currently has Point Sensor and Killer Whale 5.1. I think Auto Bomb would work, as you're able to sniff out where your opponents are, so you're able to attack them from a distance. Even though the Splattershot Nova does not do much damage, you are easily able to go at them from a distance, so you don't have to get up in someone's face as you do with the Arrow Spray. And Crab Tank could easily help you get to those hard-to-reach places where the Splattershot Nova can't reach, as you're able to fire very fast-paced shots, as well as use a heavy-powered cannon shot from the Crab Tank, as you have heavy-duty armor, even though you will take damage and lose the armor after a period of time if you take too much damage. But I mean, Auto Bomb and Crab Tank would be very interesting to see the Splattershot Nova have, but it would be unusual to see it in action, as not that many people would use the Splattershot Nova as they do with the Anaki Splattershot Nova, as it has Ink Mine and Inkjet. And finally, we have the custom dually squelchers with Squid Beacon and Killer Whale 5.1. It definitely has that flashback to Splatoon 1, as we had the dual squelcher, as it had Squid Beacon and Killer Whale in Splatoon 1, as the dual squelcher was only shown in Splatoon 1. So I think custom dually squelchers getting Killer Whale 5.1 instead of Super Chump would be interesting to see in action, as I mean, Super Chump is more of a distraction related special than it is attacking. So I mean, Killer Whale 5.1 would be interesting to see for the dually squelchers, especially for the custom models. But I mean, I doubt Nintendo would want to use Killer Whale 5.1 for the dually squelchers, as they want it to have more of a weapon you use on defense than you would for support or on offense. I mean, I really do not know. I don't use the dually squelchers very often to even make a statement, but I mean, it would be interesting to see the dually squelchers or custom dually squelchers use this weapon kit as the custom dual squelcher used in Splatoon 1. And that is it. That is all of the weapon kits. If you guys like the video, thank you all for watching. If you guys like the video, be sure you subscribe and don't forget to leave a like on the video. If you want to see more videos like this, just send a comment below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And until then, stay fresh.